As part of the formative evaluation that we've conducted on the working version of the e-learning course, we wanted to ask what would be the risks if something went wrong. So we did a risk assessment. The first thing that we did as part of the risk assessment was to identify success scenarios. What would be a successful e-learning event or program? We brainstormed a lot of different ideas, and then with those ideas, we put those ideas in different categories or different buckets. The buckets that we used included communication, participants, mentors, IT, technology, future-proofing or sustainability of the program, evaluation, and then course growth. We went into each of those different categories and then took very specific things that would contribute to the success of an e-learning program. Those were called the success scenarios. We then went into those success scenarios and asked, well, what could go wrong? What could be the things that could prevent us from reaching success? What that allowed us to do was to come up with a list of hazards. We took that list of hazards and then broke them down even further. What we did is we used a preliminary risk assessment for this. In conducting the preliminary risk analysis, we asked a number of different questions. We asked what could happen. That would be the unwanted event or the hazard. We asked what are the potential negative impacts to the person going through the program or to the program itself. We then asked what would be the contributing causes. What could cause this unwanted event to occur? We then rated that in terms of likelihood of occurrence using a scale of low, medium, high, or 1, 2, 3. We did the same thing for severity of consequence, low, medium, or high, 1, 2, 3. We multiplied these numbers together and we received a risk score. After calculating the risk score, what we were able to do then was to prioritize what would be the areas that we would want to focus on in terms of our mitigation and control practices. We then went through and we identified the controls. In some cases, for example, the hazard being the person doesn't have the bandwidth to easily download a video segment, we came up with some ideas. One idea would be to send a DVD out to the person that was needing it. Another idea that we had as a potential hazard would be some sort of blockage by the local government of the site where the videos are held. So for that we came up with some other ideas. We could send out videos right away, or we could allow them to be downloaded, or we could come up with some other streaming sites that could be alternatives for people to have access to the video and courseware. What we saw as part of the discussion was that the risk score itself wasn't the critical thing that we were looking at, but this forum allowed us to have a discussion about what some of the risks were and what are some ways that we can work through them to assure that people that were going through the course had a successful e-learning experience.